What are you worried about? Let's start with that.
I don't know.
Hi, Riddle. What are you worried about today?
I don't know.
She's worried about not being read anymore.
They're called STIs here.
What are
It's STI. They do STI in America too.
Sexually transmitted.
What is the I?
Infection.
Infection.
Yeah. I think the technical term is STI, but people still say STDs. So they're everywhere.
So welcome to the interview. Today, kids, we're talking about
Crabs.
crabs.
Oh.
I'm not going to ask why we went there first. I was thinking to clap because it's more fun to say.
Crabs are more delicious.
It's a really small hammer.
I'm not in this anymore.
I'm going to need a really small hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Lots of butter.
Little hammer.
All right. Then we start off on a good note. So how are you guys doing? This is your last day.
Yes. Are we filming right now?
Yeah, we're going. We've been going this whole time. That's not getting edited. The crabs is staying.
You chose the wrong day to interview us.
Yeah,
got
last day.
No,
Friday we're bright-eyed and bushy. Right now we're
that's why I
dark-eyed
You might be bushy. I landscape.
What would they call it?
on a Sunday.
Manscape. I'm not a man. What do you call if a woman does it?
The right thing to do? I don't know. What?
This interview's
What's
about
happening?
now.
Oh, it's about me. What's the right?
What do you call it?
What do I call
When a woman manscapes.
Thank you. That's pretty much it.
Mommy, daddy.
Wait, I have to be PC. Her prerogative? Is that the right way?
Her. Anyways.
That's it. Yep. Thank you for cleaning up before you came. We appreciate that for the interview. I don't know how it's going to go there, but we'll see what happens.
Now we start the interview.
Nothing gets cut. Nothing at all.
Even him. Oh!
Occasionally, but I kind of like it.
No, stop, please.
All right. So, I told people I was hoping to do interviews with you guys, and when I said professional cosplayers, I got a few eye rolls from people who don't know what cosplay is, and a few people who actually said, so you're going to interview hot women who wear other people's costumes. That's just interviewing models. And I said, no, it's not models, it's something else. So the first question I would have is, how do you explain what you do to people who don't quite understand the cosplay thing?
My tagline is, I dress up in stuff. Pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, cosplay is basically it's different for everybody, but for us, it's like we pick characters we love or that we like, or they have attributes that we maybe would like to have, and then we make the costumes and then we put them on.
Yeah.
And then we go to conventions or take photos.
I mean, for a lot of people, the thing that's most empowering about cosplay is taking a character, like Wonder Woman, and she's so strong and she's so independent as a woman, and kind of being able to imbue those attributes when you dress up as that character. Because a lot of people in this community, the people that start cosplaying, they're kind of shy, a little socially awkward, kind of people that don't really get out much, because we were like that at some point.
Yes, still like that.
Yeah, a little bit. And so to be able to, take a strong character like Superman or like Wonder Woman and be able to kind of, act like them for a day but still be yourself, it really, it's a strong feeling, and a lot of people don't really get to experience that until they try it and they're like, yeah, I'm Superman.
Yeah, but just because you don't make your costume doesn't make you not a cosplayer.
Yeah.
It's just, I think really for me the key of being a cosplayer is just picking a character that you love.
And having fun with it,
Yeah.
So,
Because you guys are at a level that people in conventions aspire to, quite a few of them, people we've talked to are like, oh, we want to be that.
Pick a new role model. New role model.
Just smaller hands. Yeah, without skin conditions. So
No, there's no judgment.
this is a color-free zone, okay?
this is going to be a really rough
Hotel didn't have lotion.
Gross.
Why is it gotta be gross?
It means you're rashy.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so if the difference between making your own costume and having someone else make it for you, do you feel more of a connection with something you've made? Or is it once you become that character, it's just you, it doesn't really matter where it came from?
I think it depends on the person. A lot of people might not have the skill or ability to make their own thing, or even the time or the money. And if they're just they have that connection with the character and they just want to be it, it's totally fine. For us, there's a lot of pride and I guess, feeling that comes with like making something from scratch and kind of having it in the end and being like, I made this with my bare hands.
Yeah. It's totally it. Like a lot of times, especially for us, we try to translate something so it looks like it could exist in the real world. And that kind of neuroticness is very difficult to have someone else make something for you. So, I mean...
Because you do it exactly how you want to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not to say, like, I've learned from so many people and, you know, I get helped on patterns or I'll just, you know, ask people advice, but I try to make as much as I can on my own. And, but like she said, just because you don't make it doesn't mean you're not a cosplayer. I mean, like she said, I know some people who are families and they have children and, you know, they try to do a little bit on the weekend, but maybe they just don't have time to and they want to be Thor and they can go be Thor.
There's no overarching like cosplay Jesus that tells you what to do. Like there's no like cosplay Bible that's like you shall not make your costumes or whatever.
Yeah, generally I think like my feeling is just be proud of whatever you do, regardless if you make it or you buy it or you piece it together, and don't be a douchebag. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
In the end, just don't be a douchebag.
In the end, don't be a D-bag. That's a life lesson, kids.
And stay in school.
Nah, you don't need to do that.
And just like that, we lost the other half of our viewership. So when you're describing what we do, so like your friends, obviously you could because you'd have friends in the community, or
we're not friends.
We're not friends.
I could tell the disdain between the two of you, but like your family, do they know? I mean, well, they know what you do, but do they actually know what you do?
What if they just had no idea what we were doing the whole time? Like, why are you in New Zealand? Sorry.
Well, no, you can have an idea, but
yeah.
no, I'm not wrong.
You're trying to be serious. Ask the serious questions.
No,
We're not.
that's what I'm actually curious about myself, because I'm having to explain it to people who don't know is a tough thing for me, not being part of it.
Yeah.
But do your families actually understand fully what
Not
it
at
is you
first,
do?
definitely not at first. But like, I'm a little bit older than Monica, and when I started, and she actually got the same thing. We always joke about this.
Our parents both thought that we were gonna go hang with pedophiles.
No, mine was. I was like, hey, I want to dress up as like anime characters, and I want to do this, and people would be like, is that a sexual thing? Is
it like a furry?
Is that a fetish?
Oh god.
Is that a fetish?
Some furries are so misunderstood.
Yeah, they're really like the craftsmanship of those suits is amazing. Like I was like, hats off to people who invest that type of money. But as far back to my parents, they get it. They kind of get it now. They understand, and I think at its core, they see it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And her mom though is totally into it.
Yeah. When I first started out, it's that same thing, like this fear of the unknown, I guess, and something that's kind of weird. Because let's face it, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And for a couple of years, I was in middle school when I started. I would kind of hide from my parents and like go out to cons and stuff without them knowing. But now they're more than supportive of what I do. My mom's Twitter handle is like Cosplay Mom, and I'm like, stop.
Cosplay Mom 1.
I'm like, Mom, stop.
What are your mom's handle?
I know.
She got one.
Yeah.
One.
Well, you see like horse lover number, and then
Ew, gross. Don't follow that.
Why did we have to go there first?
It's about sex.
furries. But now these days, they're super supportive. And when I was younger, I used to be like, Dad, like I could be, smoking marijuana, shooting up heroin stuff, but I'm like making costumes and like learning how to sew and stuff because he was kind of like the straight-laced doctor guy that was like, go to school, become an engineer. And now because of what I do, I've been able to pay off my student loans. I pay off my own tuition, and my sisters are still paying their tuition. So I don't know, stick to them. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm so happy.
So that leads to the next thing, because I haven't asked this before. Can you make a living as a professional cosplayer? Like, realistically?
Do you want to take that one?
It's possible. Most of the people who do make a living, there's some caveats.
Exceptions, yeah.
Yeah, either they have revenue coming in from either their significant other.
Or like a side business.
It depends on the style of life you would like to lead. And also can also stem from like what I was saying, cosplay is about picking the characters that you love. You may get hired by a company to make their character and you really just don't care about the character.
Or you could cosplay a popular character that you think you're going to sell more prints of or something.
Yeah. So there's always this sort of like soft issue, but it's really however you choose to refer yourself to. But I like to think that it's not so much there's professional cosplayers, there's professional quality costumes. And I really think the quality of craftsmanship from when I started, especially in the last few years with the advent of information out there, tutorials, YouTube, Facebook, and just how open the community is with information and 3D printing, Pepakura, that the quality of costumes coming out of people who are just starting is absolutely astounding. Like it just blows. Like if you look, I've been cosplaying since '99. everything like prior to 2006, it was all satin and broadcloth, and it was
Cardboard.
awesome. It was awesome. It was like, you were just happy to see someone in costume. And now people are like really stepping up their game because they really want to make something they're proud of and quality. And I think it's kind of like we're in the golden age of geek too, with all the superhero movies, and people are like, I want to be Ant-Man.
It's cool to be a geek now.
Yeah, it's totally cool to be a geek.
Yeah.
So
when you're with people stepping up their game, and then you're having to do this on a higher level, does that make it more of a challenge for you guys to go that one step for more realism, or is it you just kind of do it and have fun with it?
I try not to let what other people do affect me because I'm doing it for me, and you know, if other people enjoy it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I try to do the best I can and be happy with what it is that I do, and if everyone else enjoys it, that's awesome. Because if you're constantly worrying about, you know, what so-and-so cosplayer is making, and if they make it better, it's, you know, it kind of takes away the fun from it because you want to do it and enjoy it yourself, you know?
yeah, you'll get so consumed with what other people are doing
Yeah.
that you'll just drive yourself miserable. I was at a panel and this girl's like, I'm really trying to focus on craftsmanship, and I see girls in bikinis and, you know, they're getting all this attention. I'm like, you know what? Would you be happy wearing a bikini costume? She's like, no, I really want to do quality stuff. I was like, then focus on doing quality stuff and don't worry about with them, because you will just drive you crazy with anything. If you're worrying what your coworker is doing and you're not focusing on your own work and creating your own product, then you know you're going to be miserable. And it's difficult. It's difficult not to look at other people and be like, oh no, they're inspiring me, but really they're almost like consuming you, and you're just so focused on them instead of just being like, I'm going to just create stuff that makes me happy and that I'm proud of. And, you know, if you want to use people to inspire you, then that's fine, but don't compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
Is it odd for you to be that inspiration for so many people,
Yes.
or does it make you uncomfortable?
I feel like they're lying when they tell me. Like, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, no.
They've told us a lot. When we told them we were hoping to interview,
They're lying to
they
you
were
too.
really excited. Yeah, I'm inspirational.
I think what it is we know all the problems in all of our costumes, and we know the difficulties we had making the costumes, and they're only seeing the final result.
Yeah.
So I honestly believe, like, I'm so humbled and so flattered when I hear it, but part of it's like, you're shitting me, right? But if I'm not gonna tell somebody no. Like, if I would.
No, you can't be inspired by me.
Yeah. I'm just like, maybe I want to find a more motivated role model, but.
One of less of a potty mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That's you. I'm sorry, everybody.
Just trying to cope with something to follow that, but anywhere we go after that is going to go down.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we won't. There is one that kind of follows along that. So when you're making your own stuff, when you start off, you said you started off with, you know, back in earlier days when things were still a bit simpler and trying to figure things out. Would you find things like wardrobe malfunctions or difficulties, things like that, less prevalent now because the materials you use, or have you had an experience where that was just an oh shit moment, and that you may not have now because you might know a little bit more?
Yeah. I mean, with anything, years of experience teaches you, you know, things, especially years of mistakes. If you make one mistake once, you hopefully are not going to make it again. And I think we learn a lot from our mistakes in costumes, especially as, you know, wardrobe malfunctions. If something bad happens at a con, you're like, this ain't happening at the next con, and you like double, triple prepare and try to stop it from happening.
It does seem that with the nature of some of the costumes that you have to wear, if you have a malfunction, it's not like a little thing. It could go disastrous in a real, like, I don't need examples, so like in a really major way.
No, I blew up my crotch in latex one time, and I decided not to wear any underwear because I didn't want the seam lines.
All right.
So now I wear 3 pairs of underwear.
3.
At least.
At least 3.
At least
But
3.
it's just a 12. It's just coming out of here.
You know when you did that event where you put on as many shirts as you can?
Yeah.
So you can't put any more shirts. I do that with
Underwear.
So
Well, I think
I have an image in my head.
underneath the skirt.
So boxers or briefs? I have to ask the question.
Oh, just anything.
And literally, like.
No, I mean that's when you can ask other cosplayers.
Sexy.
But when
I had a mental image of my boyfriend just now.
most of the time in cosplay you have to wear a thong.
Oh, really?
Right.
We have a friend who like hates wearing thongs because she hates the way it like flosses up her butt. And she thinks that she's gonna get like a disease or something from it. What was it?
Some fecal issue.
Yeah, she's really
You
weird.
should probably just wash it then.
I'm calling you out, Katie George.
She's gonna love you for that. We'll make sure we tag her
We
in the
did
video.
a panel. It's cool.
I had a good response to your question earlier. It's just after that, it just totally went out of my head.
Sorry, if it
I
comes
know
back,
that
we'll
it was
revisit.
about like wardrobe malfunction.
I know, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. I think for us, one of the biggest problems with malfunctions is we're not the kind of people who just make a costume and wear it once, unless it really sucks. And so for us, a lot of our problems come from just wear and tear. And so we'll wear it to con and con and con, and then eventually we realize this one thing that held up maybe the first time, it's not holding up so well like the 10th time.
Yeah. Or like even just like going through the con, like someone just banging into you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just, you just have to be careful, yeah. It's just yeah, wear and tear, that's what it is.
Because costumes aren't regular clothes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, you can't just bring it to the little Asian seamstress and have her fix it. You could fix it yourself.
So do you have a triage assistant usually with your stuff, or do you guys do it all yourself?
I usually bring like a little pack, you know, to all conventions that has like sewing needle thread, hot glue, and the usual stuff. Very rarely I use it though, which I like to think a personal achievement. Because I mean, I got to the point where I was cosplaying where I was like, man, I don't want to have to be using hot glue and safety pins for every time I make something. I want to make sure that like I could put it on like a garment and not have to be constantly repairing it, because that's I think what transforms a costume into like a, you know, an actual piece of like, you know, clothing, and not just some crap you're duct taping to you, you know?
Well, also, if you're always constantly, if you're on the floor and you're constantly worried about something falling down or falling apart,
It's really stressful.
You'll read it on your face. Like, you won't walk with confidence because you'll be like, oh, is that falling down? Is this flopping around? Something gonna bang into me?
Flopping around.
Yeah, like, you know, like a
She said she's
pauldron or
older than
something. And, no, they're fine. So, you know, if you know everything is like really put together in your costume and nothing's gonna fall apart, then
It saves you so much
yeah,
stress.
it'll be less anxiety, less stress, and you'll just like be in photos. You'll definitely look more confident.
Yeah.
Cool. When you go, so, because you're coming from like Canada, US areas mostly, the one question I always wonder when people do this sort of stuff for a living is, what's Halloween like for you?
I don't dress up.
I was gonna say, you must be like,
I haven't done Halloween in years.
I'm so over it. I would, you know, just.
No, it's not about that. It's mostly, I think for me, like if I, let's say, wear, you know, Snow White out, right? The costume, the amount of fabric, the cost of the fabric, the time to make it, and I go to a bar and someone's like, oops, and drops a drink on me, or like puts their cigarette out on me.
Feel like the casuals.
As bizarre as it sounds, it's just like, it's like non-geek people may not appreciate it as much as my geek folk. So they don't realize how much time and effort goes into it. They'll just be like, oh, that's really great, like outfit you got from Party City. I'm like, "Wah!"
Man, I just hate Halloween because my family lives in a really white suburban area in Georgia, and we have all these brat kids that show up in like their football uniforms or like their cheerleading outfits, and I'm like, where's your costume? And they're like, I'm a cheerleader, and I'm like, you got that from school, you punk.
Now, if they swapped uniforms,
Oh,
that
A+.
would be all right. Then put the bananas and the apples away.
I
You can
just
have
like,
candy. Yeah.
back in my day, you know, we worked hard on costumes and stuff, and kids show up in a t-shirt, and I'm like, I bought this candy for someone who wore a costume, you know?
I think what you should do is put on one of your costumes, and then when they come to the door, say, "Come back when it looks this good."
Oh,
If you can match this, you can have candy.
Dang.
Otherwise, forget it.
Just Nerf gun at the door.
And make your neighborhood step up the game a little bit.
Yeah, fuck those kids.
No.
I hope they're not watching this.
One kid in your neighborhood's like, I know that girl.
Your house is gonna get egged.
I know. Oh shit.
What's your address again?
Yeah, that's great.
Do you guys do a lot of interviews and stuff like that normally, like this kind of interview, or is it mostly just?
Where the
cameras?
doors open and it's really cold?
Yeah, that's a good.
It's actually not that cold. The lighting's really beautiful right now.
Yeah, I know.
You look.
No.
And he goes to close the door.
It is cold. You're not cold?
I'm fine. We have like 1,000 lights on us
I'll
right
take
now.
the door shut. Thank you.
We do some where like we're on the floor and stuff. Usually it's nice to have a person who knows how to interview, because sometimes it's them asking, what's your favorite costume? Or how long have you been cosplaying? You know, like the same kind of spiel over and over. And we try and make it fun and funny, but after a couple of years of doing it, it's
No, I love doing it. It's the end of the con, so I'm like, it's quiet. So I'm
It's
a little,
alone time
no,
now.
I'm a little quieter than normal, but I'm
And
serious.
Sorry.
Sorry, he's already drunk, so you can take it down.
No, but I love doing interviews.
I wish.
Soon.
I love doing interviews with Monika because we have kind of sort of the same sense of humor. Because there's
Are you
times. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Shame. And that's one of the
But you
reasons why I wanted you both to be, because watching you two on the floor, I was like, no, we want.
Oh,
No,
It'd be a lot more fun to
no,
have the two of you. Otherwise, it would just be one of you playfully talking shit about the other person.
Well, it's always kind of weird when you're by yourself, talking about yourself.
But do you do that?
No, like
To
when
a
they're
mirror,
in an
usually.
interview.
Usually to a mirror, all by yourself.
You're beautiful, Monica.
Who's the Cosplayers cosplayer in all the land? You are, Monika. You are.
Precisely. With the blow dryer in my hair.
It'd be worse if your mirror said her.
No, it wouldn't.
Some selfish
I look so rashy.
One question that was brought up was with the interviews you have had. Have you had any like creepy interviews? Not counting this one.
I mean, when I'm doing
Wait, creepy in what way?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that said, you know, your family thinks you're going to hang out with like kiddie porn, child molesters, or something like that. So I didn't know if like, because people interview.
I wouldn't say
Dress up
creepy
as-
interviews, more just people that don't know how to
Just
interview.
awkward.
Or they're just awkward.
interviews.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of those things where you, as the person being interviewed, have to, instead of just kind of sitting there and taking it, you have to kind of play off and make it funny, even though you're
Careful.
like, kill me now. Usually those ones
Yeah.
don't get posted though.
It's,
Hopefully.
I just ignore them.
Fair enough.
No.
Cool. All right. Is there anything? What are you guys doing next?
Like after this,
Yeah.
right now,
Well,
Going to the
we're
washroom.
gonna. I want to change.
We actually have a photo shoot, then we have a party tonight
That's right.
at the
it's
convention.
next. That'll be
We're
fun.
gonna go see Ant-Man, I think.
We could see that in Atlanta.
Not at the theater,
I'm like,
not at the Weather Theater!
Why would you go to a foreign country to see a movie you could see at home
'Cause you
and
sit
waste
with-
those 3 hours of
You
exploring?
get to sit. You get to sit in Elijah Wood's seat. That-
What specifically? Do you promise that?
Part in it.
If you asked, you could probably get it. Yeah.
I loved him in that movie with like Mel Gibson where he was a little kid.
Man without a face.
I don't know. He was like a little kid.
I love the guy in a movie and
He had, like, a
I'm
little
that I
kid
don't
friend.
know what movie it was.
And he was exploring. He was really cute and young.
Was it My Fair Lady?
No, he's way too young for that.
How about Goonies?
I just know Mel Gibson was in it and he was in it and he was adorable.
Was it Braveheart?
No, Elijah Wood, you dumbass. Look, IMDb, someone, right
Someone
now.
get it quick. We'll find it. We'll find it. He's on it.
Look, pull it up, I promise.
Just so I.
He's really cute and young and he's all sweet and innocent.
I
So
wanna
if
say
I
it was
do-
Unless like
Man
Shelob stopped penetrating me. Right? You know, he has that face, he's just like,
You know what? That's what she screamed last night.
Shelob. I hate that scene, it's the spiders. Ugh.
Yeah, it was like, no. Just
Peace.
no.
Tap it out. Are we looking it up right
I
now?
got nothing now. I'm so lost.
That's the story of our lives.
Well,
Yeah. No, when I said what are you doing next, I mean like what's after you leave New Zealand?
Sleeping.
after I leave
Are
New
you,
Zealand?
is it just home and rest, or you
We've
actually have
been on
another-
a 3-con tour and this is wrapping up.
This is the third week in a
Can
row.
you sing it to the Gilligan's Island theme?
I don't even know what that is.
Wow.
Too young for that.
Oh,
Uh,
Three Island to.
Well, I know what Gilligan's Island is, but I don't know what the song is.
Tour, Three Island. Yeah, never
Why
mind.
don't you sing to the camera?
Because I have a face for radio. So yeah, so like when
just
you go
put a
back.
paper bag over your face.
Double paper bag.
Ouch. See, this is why I'm not on camera, Tim. So no, like when you go home, what's next for you guys? Do you have another? Is it
Work.
just rest for a
No,
while?
I've got to work. Get back to work.
Yeah, well she's working on Cap 3 and I have school still. So
And then, and then I think we start another con tour in September.
yeah, when is that?
It's like Hawaii, New
No,
York.
Dragon Con's first.
Well, I'm not going to Dragon Con.
Oh, well, you're gonna have a sad life.
I'll be in Toronto.
Will you be coming back? Do you know? Are you gonna come
To
back
New
for
Zealand?
another release? Yeah.
Who works for the con in this room?
Yeah. Talk to the people at the con. Say we want those beaches back.
We can get you back.
Really?
Yeah.
This guy spoke. There you go. We're coming back.
Come back.
Bill,
yeah.
bring him back, Bill. The people demand it.
That's right.
There's another. So this particular con is travels around New Zealand. So,
Yeah.
October, end of October, it'll be here in Auckland,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to a couple other places.
Maybe
I
next
feel like we have something end of October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually we book like almost a year in advance. So come bring us back next year.
We booked this one a year in advance.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we know we would totally love to come back. We did.
All right, pull it, hold it.
Oh, just
Frozen
Yes,
Young. Forever Young.
Yes, Frozen Young.
I got contacts.
your
in,
next
I can't see.
mashup cosplay, Frozen Young.
Forever Young.
See, I always sing that to you.
Forever Young.
That's a Parson
That's the
reference,
only
though.
time I'll ever sing ever. I hate singing.
Just now.
Wow, an exclusive just for
That's weird.
That's awesome.
Forever Young. I'm telling you, it was a movie. Okay. I didn't make it
Sure
up.
it was. Sure it was.
And baby Elijah Wood. He's so cute.
Ooh, gross.
What?
Who's the pedophile
Because he's not
now?
being penetrated by a Shelob.
No,